What up? Stay hydrated. Some liquid death. What's going on? It's starting to look a little bit better in here. Got some new lighting. It's good stuff. All right. So, new brakes. As a lot of you may know, my favorite part about a mountain bike is tires. Yeah, my least favorite part is brakes because I just feel like brakes are the most inconsistent part of a bike. They vary so much brand to brand. Just like tires though, can totally change the feel of your bike just by getting a different set of brakes. Different size rotors make a huge difference. If you can't stop, you're not gonna, if you don't have good brakes, you're not gonna be able to stop in time. You're not gonna be able to, push yourself as hard. So, just a quick little backstory. I ran Code RSCs. Kind of had a love-hate relationship with them. Like, I really like how they feel. But after riding other brakes, I noticed that the lever feels are kind of a little bit harder of a pull than a lot of the other brakes that I've been riding. And I kind of just prefer that lighter touch. And I just could never get Codes to bleed right. Probably user error, but I just don't like the way they bleed with the... I tend to favor brakes, they're mineral oil. And I don't know if that's just ease of bleeding or how they feel, but mineral oil to me just seems to last a little bit longer. But like I said, maybe I'm not bleeding the SRAMs correctly, but I don't know. I just could never figure those things out. So that led me to the Formula Curas. Really big fan of the Cura 2s, and then I rode the Cura 4s. I actually like those even better than the 2s. Still more of a on-offy feel, kind of like a Shimano, but different. And then I went back to Shimano's, and I just really fell in love with the feel of the Shimano, just how light that touch is. And been running those for a year now, and I've had a couple of my friends, shout out to Nick, Willie, and Thomas over at Bauerhaus, and those two have been pumping Magura brakes on me for quite some time now. My buddy Nick's got the MT7 Pros on his bike, and he's rode them all year last year and said that he was blown away with them. So between those two, I really value their opinions and decided I'm going to give it a try. So I got two sets. For the big bike, I got the MT7 HC3. So this is a slightly different lever than the Pros. And so far, I haven't ridden them yet, but so far the lever feel is the best feeling brake I've ever touched. Hands down. Shout out to Thomas for such a killer bleed on these. He walked me through it, showed me how to get these things just super dialed. They're so snappy. I like that. Just quick engagement. Got a lot of adjustment here on this lever. You can adjust it back here to give it some better leverage, but then you can also adjust the second half of the lever to get it, I kind of like the lever a little bit closer to the bar, but you can still back the second part out and get a lot of leverage while still maintaining to bring the second half of the lever in. Really cool design. Magura's been making brakes forever, but I've never really tried them. I saw them on a couple people's bikes, and I was like, they look kind of cheap and plasticky. I'm just going to be completely honest. It took me a long time because I wasn't really sold on them. Just from a look standpoint, it's different when you see them on somebody else's bike that's not yours. I put these things on my bike and I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm really coming around on how these things look. I think they actually look really good. At first I wasn't super stoked on them, but once we got them all mounted up and then bled in properly, I'm super stoked. Running a 203 center lock rotor Magura on here and a 180 in the back. This is actually a SRAM HS2 in the back because we couldn't find another, I think it's MDRC rotor, which is basically similar to the Storm HC, but this one's a center lock version instead of a 6-bolt. For the other bike, I did get two Storm HC rotors in 180 front and rear. So I'll show you guys these real quick. So these are for the Yeti, the Arc. So if you don't know, I have a hardtail. And so these are the MT Trail SL. Magura, yeah, 1893. Jesus, it's a long time. Price on these guys, $659. Not cheap, but you get what you pay for. And for me, I just want consistent feeling brakes. The Shimano's have been my favorite so far, but the lever pull is just super inconsistent, and that wandering bite point is, I got it with that new fluid. It's definitely a lot better, but I think these are going to perform better. So check these things out. Boom, 2 piston in the rear, 4 piston in the front. Got a carbon lever here. You can tell with the blue, you can change out these colors. I'm super stoked on these. I really like the way these bleed. They bleed up super nice. It looks, you know, Thomas ran me through everything, and yeah, these things are gonna be freaking rad. But I like the chrome, and it's a really nice lever here. Full carbon lever. I mean, God, this thing feels like, this is the 4-piston one. Feels like it weighs nothing. So I'm super pumped on these, and God, it's even got carbon fiber right here too. That's super rad. But yeah, we're gonna see how these go. I'm not gonna make this video too long because I really don't have any time on them, and I'm gonna throw these on the Arc and then get some time on these babies. But I mean, I'll bring you guys in here to take a look at these, but they just feel so snappy and they feel super good. I can tell, I can get the Shimano's to get that wandering bite point just here in the stand if you pump them up and stuff. These, none whatsoever. Feels super good. So yeah, stay tuned for that. God, if it would just stop freaking snowing, we might be able to go ride our bikes. Also, got a few extra parts for the Yeti for those who are still watching and interested. Switching over back to my NV stem, 50 mil stem. Neil the weight weenie came back. XL1 derailleur for the Arc. He's not back for good. Get out of here. But this thing I'm super intrigued with. So this is the Garber cassette. Let's get in here. I'll show you guys this. So Garber right here. So price on this guy, $286. This is the 12-speed. So I'm not gonna buy the new Axis. So here's the cassette right here. It's all freaking silver. It's gonna look so freaking sick. Thing I like about this, so SRAM's about to drop their new Axis drivetrain, and they fixed the gapping in the cassette, which has been my biggest gripe with the SRAM cassettes. I hated that jump from the 52 tooth down to the 42. It was a 10-tooth jump. The new SRAM is supposed to fix that, but this one is made by Garber. Mind you, the price on this thing, $286, half the price of an XX1, but it's actually lighter than an XX1. So half the price. We'll see how the durability is, but I'm super stoked on it. But thing I'm super stoked on the most, 52, 44, 37. That is exactly what I've been wanting SRAM to do forever. That's why I've always gone back to the Shimano stuff, just because I like the gapping so much better. I didn't necessarily like the drivetrains better per se, but I definitely like the cassettes and the gapping. So this one's fixed that issue. So SRAM's about to drop their new drivetrain, and honestly, all I really wanted out of that was the cassette, and I'm sure it's gonna be $450 for an XX1, but boom, this thing's freaking half the price, and I think it looks badass. So there's the back of it. You can see inside there, Garber. Runs off a standard XD driver, and yeah, super light. So we got full XO. We're gonna have a full XO1 setup on the Arc with the Garber, and also Thomas recommended running that cassette with a KMC chain. I'll try it with the SRAM chain, but he says he recommends that a lot of aftermarket cassettes are machined around kind of the KMC chain, I guess, from what I hear. So yeah, got some cool stuff. I put some XO1 carbon cranks on the arc as well, so shaved a little bit of weight, but I wasn't trying to shave weight per se with the cranks. I more or less wanted just a little bit more of a stiffer feel out of it, but that's all I got for you. But yeah, once it stops snowing, I'll be able to go ride these freaking sexy brakes. Still loving my Score, such a kick-ass bike. Cool, there you have it, Magura Brakes. Some extra stuff, some extra content coming out for you guys on, we'll do a review on the Garber Rook cassette, and we'll do some more brake videos. So really happy with what I see from them so far, and that's it, man, that's all I got. So catch you on the next one. Peace.